Hey everyone, it's been a while since I last posted a devlog. A lot has changed since the game then, like a lot. The old version was all about picking up random items and throwing them at enemies while pulling off some grappling, sliding and slowing down time. It was fun in its own ways, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. So I scrapped that and rebuilt the game from the ground up. Now it's 100% different, and in this video I'm gonna break down everything new from the movement to the mechanics, enemies, and even about the game lore. Let's kick things off with the movement.
That's a great idea!
In the old version, movement was, let's just say, functional. Okay, you had the basic sliding and running, but the player barely left the ground, and when they did, it was usually because of a bug. And sliding, well, it felt off. It was just a single burst and there was no momentum after this, so it killed your momentum instead of keeping it going, which in a fast-paced shooter movement is just wrong. So I fixed that, and now sliding stays continuous until you either let go of the slide button or you hit a wall, which feels way smoother and keeps your flow going without any interruption. But I didn't stop there. To really make this into a movement shooter, I added a bunch of parkour moves which I wanted. I wanted to have dashing, wall running, wall jumping, and also some bit of wall climbing.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
Now, the concept here is all about giving the player total freedom. I wanted you to feel like you're always in control, chaining moves together, staying fast, and making every fight a parkour playground. And to take it a step further, I made some player stats customizable. Some, not everything. You can tweak stuff like the slide power, the jump height, the gravity. So if you wanna float like a feather or launch yourself up across the map, that's totally up to you. I don't really have a hand in that, but please don't, just don't. Please, just don't do that. Now let's talk about the game's mechanic, because a lot has changed there too. First off, the health bars, yeah, no, those are gone.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, instead you have a trick score as your health. So the more tricks you pull off, the higher your score, and also the longer you stay alive. That's why I actually gave you all those parkour moves, because you will need them to, well, survive. Okay, so they're not just there for style, but they're literally keeping you in the game. But it's not as simple as it looks, because there's a catch. Now, you cannot just palm the same thing over again and over again. That means you cannot just keep doing wall running and you think you'll be getting points. That's not how it works. So the more you repeat the same move, the fewer and fewer points you gain each time. So you gotta stay creative, mix things up, and also keep your movement fresh if you really want to survive. I also made the iron pickup way smoother. Before, I had some problem with it before. For example, if I was to pick it up from a distance, there'd be a whole lot of problems. So I don't really want to get into that, but I just fixed that up. And also, I also made it so that you really doesn't break your momentum. For example, now you can just slide through it and you automatically grab the weapon without having to slow down. So you are now always moving, you are always ready. There's no problem with what you are doing. You don't have to stop to actually look at the weapon and pick it up. You can just slide nearby it and you are good to go. The grappling hook, however, got one of the big upgrades too. Now it's actually much more smoother, it's much more responsive. There's some visual feedback to the grapple hook. When you, for example, for Malta, when you shoot the grapple, there's actually an animation this time playing very well for the grappling hook. It's just beautiful. And to also make it even better, I added some visual feedback for the rest. For example, when you pick an item, you get a notification that you pick an item. When you drop it, you get a notification that you dropped an item. Those are just light things which I've added. Or when you gain new trick or new points, you see some feedback to make you know that you're not actually doing anything wrong, and you can see what you're doing. So for the enemies, I haven't made a ton of enemies yet, so just a few with some cool variation, but that's where you guys come in. If you have any ideas for enemy types, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what kind of crazy stuff you want to see in the game. And hey, if you're enjoying the devlogs or want to support the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. It really helps. Anyway, let's get to the video. So first off, we have the aggressive enemies. These guys, they charge straight at you and attack you whenever they get close. They are simple but dangerous. But there's a variant of this enemy that's a little bit smarter. Okay, the variant can actually dodge your attacks by rolling out of the way. So you cannot just mindlessly throw stuff at it and expect an easy hit. Then the shield enemy, this one is all about defense. It blocks incoming attacks with its shield and then it counter attacks with the shield itself. So you got to time your throws right or find a way around that defense. Sometimes it doesn't block. Finally, we got the exploding enemy. This one's exactly what it sounds like. It charges at you and tries to blow itself up. Even if you hit it, it will still explode on death. So you got to keep your distance or risk taking damage. And speaking of damage, enemies don't reduce your health directly. Remember, your 3 points are your health, so taking a hit means that your score will drop. Since this guy died in one hit, there's going to be like a lot of them. Okay, enemies just die in one hit, so you just throw one thing at them and they're dead. So I'm going to make a lot of them, so the rooms will have to be bigger. This is a matter for another time. Anyway, that's everything that I have done so far, but there's still a lot more coming. So if you got any cool ideas, definitely let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around next time. Nihodesu signing off.